Hi again, this is Doug Williams with Viva Las Vegas Autos, bringing another fantastic vehicle. This is a really cool 1985 Volkswagen Vanagon GL Westfalia camper, and this is a full camper. This is a camper that has all the equipment inside, and you're going to see here in a minute, there's one special, very special and super rare option inside this van that over the last 30 some odd years I've known about these vans and owned them and driven them. It's the first one I've ever found, the first one I've ever seen. In fact, until I bought this one, I didn't even know they existed. And then I started doing some research, and I only could find one picture. Actually, I think it was two pictures on the internet, one from Go Westy, where it had this particular option. You'll see what that is here pretty soon. But anyways, let me tell you a little bit about this vehicle. This vehicle was purchased brand new right here in Las Vegas back in 1985 by an owner, and he owned it for 5 years and 20,000 miles. 22, I think it's 22,000 miles. And then his best friend, who he used to rock climb with, asked if he could buy this from him. So it's had two owners, local right here in Las Vegas, and this vehicle only has 85,000 original miles on it. That paint right there is all original paint. It's never been painted. It's never had any body work done anywhere on the vehicle. And out of Las Vegas, you'll know that this car is absolutely rust free. In fact, even where you see rust normally on these things, even in dry states, this car doesn't have any rust in the seams, the lower seam panels, or underneath, or on the undercarriage, anywhere in the window seals and surrounds and things like that. These are all areas that these things are known to rust, and this thing doesn't have a speck of it. As we walk around this thing, you're going to see some incredible condition. And again, original. All the original labels are still on there. He did upgrade those wheels about, I think it was a few years ago, when at the service place locally that serviced this thing. Actually, where I found this thing is at a service facility. But they sold him these alloy wheels. They're off a later model unit. And those tires, even though they're older, they're like brand new. This car was garage kept from day one. And when you see the shine on the paint, you can see some of the reflection as I walk around. You'll see the condition of this paint is absolutely stellar. Right there is really one of the biggest seam dents on the vehicle. It's just a small, probably 2.5 inch dent. No body work has been done. Little chip of paint right there. The grille is in excellent condition. The bumper on front looks like brand new, although it's not. It's all original. And all the rubber and everything is excellent condition. The front windshield is the original glass, never been changed out. And you can see that right there. It's original Volkswagen glass. One thing that's kind of cool is you can see it right here through the window. That's a rear view mirror. And for those of you who own these things, you'll understand why that's such a great place to put a rear view mirror. The one that the factory puts on is up top here, and the visual that you have is downward, so you only see a few feet behind you, where this one here actually goes straight out the back, so you can see, you know, unlimited distance behind there. But the whole vehicle, everywhere you look, is in just pristine condition. Tires, you can see that there. Lots of tread and no cracking. Mirrors are original. All the stripes on the thing are all in original condition and super shiny. This vehicle is literally probably one of the best I've ever seen for this age. About 9 months ago, I had a 1984 that had 39,000 original miles on it. The front end had been repainted. It was a nice vehicle, but not this nice. Also, it had a rare option. It was a Wolfsburg edition. This one is very similar, and like I said, as soon as I open the door here, you'll see this special option I've been excited to tell you about. In the back end, there's a couple teeny little chips. One there, a little bit of crackling on the tape there, and down below, you can see a little bit of scuff on the stripe there. But when I bought the vehicle, the rear bumper was kind of dented up, so I actually removed it and took it in to have it straightened and repolished. So it looks like brand new again now, and it's the original bumper. Down underneath here, I was talking to the owner. He had pulled backwards into his garage and hit a box in the middle of his garage, and that's how that happened, actually pretty recently. So Again, no rust there or anything like that, just a little bit of paint missing, but it's underneath the rear bumper, so you really don't even see it. And there was no frame damage or anything like that, obviously, to the vehicle. But this vehicle, the tent top, the fiberglass on top is in incredible condition. The whole top of the vehicle is excellent. See that walking around? Now for the surprise. Are you ready for this? This is like the coolest and most rare option I've ever seen. Okay, you ready for the reveal? Here it is. That is a center captain's chair. That was an option on these things, and most people see these with a center bench. The 84 that I had a center bench that goes basically from that point all the way over to the fridge. This here is the center captain's chair that is built just like the front captain's chairs, with a swivel and full articulation 360 degrees around. You notice in there we have an extra spare wheel that came with the car too. The interior of this vehicle is in outstanding condition. As you can see from the front, the doors, panels were excellent. The seats were covered with sheepskin covers their entire lives until I bought the vehicle. Took them off because they were just old. And the carpets are in excellent condition as well. Underneath, you can see that they're beautiful. It's always been covered. Of course, with 85,000 miles, this thing is exceptional. But mileage is low, the headliner's beautiful. But this little cherry thing here is so incredible. For those of you who have looked at these without these, that makes it so you have a 4-passenger vehicle, and that's it. When you have the bench seat, it's great because it gives you a 6-passenger vehicle. But if you want to use the kitchenette back here, you've got to remove that bench seat to even do anything. With this particular captain's chair, you don't have to. You can swivel this thing around. This seat, and you'll see in the pictures, can swivel around so it can be sitting facing the rear bench there, and be like eat with the people behind you on the table back there that can swivel out. Or it can swivel towards the front seats, and there's another table that goes down there and sits between the 2 front seats. This person sitting in this seat can actually eat at that table as well. Or you can swivel this thing around and face the cook station there. Or you can swivel this seat out and face the outside. So for convenience, it's excellent. You can get into the fridge where you can't with the bench. You don't have to remove this, but if you want to, you literally take out a bolt right there underneath. Take that bolt out, and then there's a couple other things that you do to slide it right out. You take out these 2 end pieces here and slide the thing right out to the end. You can also position this seat into this position right here where those 2 panels will be removed, and you can slide it farther over towards the fridge. I don't know why you do that, because it would make it difficult to get into the fridge. So I don't know why somebody would want to put it there, but you can. The beauty of this thing is literally the ability to not be in the way. You can get to the back seat easily through here. You can get through to the front. It's just not in the way. And I've heard so many things on blogs about the bench seat. Everybody takes it out because they have to take it out to get into the kitchen. And then it's super heavy. The bench seat is incredibly heavy. This thing's not light either. It's a steel box underneath there that it sits on for safety. It's got its own seat belts and all that kind of stuff. But one person can move it. I've stored the additional floor covers. If you do want to take it out, they're just stored underneath there, along with the front license plate bracket that had on the car as well. But this swivel is what's so incredible. Let me show you how that works real quick here. I'm going to set this thing down. You can see how this works. Okay, we'll angle this camera a little bit there. What I do is I first lift up this lever right here, push it down like that, okay? And then we can take this seat here and swivel it all the way around so it can then face the front or any direction that you want it to. So pretty easy to do. This is my favorite point because you can sit there and kick your feet out the door and face outside. If you had a canopy on this thing, You'd have even more coverage, watch your kids play, whatever you want to do. But what an incredible thing. You can even lay down this bed fully with this seat in place. This bed can either face that seat or face forward, or either way, but that bed can be fully functional as a bed. Or again, the bench seat, it's difficult to do that. It has to be moved. Set this down, I'll swing this thing back around. Locks into place. But just an incredible vehicle. Everything works on this thing too. The top is in excellent condition. Let's see, we'll take this here and we just open up. And this all works great too. You can actually, that's the sink. You can hear it pumping. There's no water in there, but you can hear it pumping. The sink does work. I just drained the water out because it is old. The flames also work. You can see that there's very little usage on this thing. The guy that I bought it from was in his 70s, late 70s. He's a rock climber up until recently, where he actually hurt his back and couldn't do rock climbing anymore. So that's why he sold this thing. Fridge is in excellent condition. And again, everything works. I've left a few cool things in here. There were some plates and a coffee maker in there. That's kind of cool. He designed a, cut up a organizer that I thought was kind of neat, so I left it in there too. I kind of like that utensil organizer that he made for this thing. Kind of cool. But you can see he's added some things as well. Up here he's got these Coleman lights that are battery operated. You can turn those on. They're just magnetically attached up there. There's another one there. And then this silly little bulb back here is again battery operated. That, my friends, is air conditioning. Yes, this vehicle has air conditioning. And when we raise up the top, there's a bed up there. I know that everybody who usually buys these knows exactly what that is up there. So I'm not going to raise up the top. But you'll see in the pictures that the tent is in perfect condition. All the drapes are great. And this thing just runs like a charm. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this thing for a drive. You see how it runs out and enjoy. Oh, I forgot a nice little option on this thing. It has a battery disconnect on it, and it has two batteries. There's a battery that comes from the factory right there underneath this panel. You just undo that and it's right underneath there. But in addition to that, another battery was installed underneath the driver's seat, which a lot of the people love that because it gives you the dual battery operation. There's also little connections there for power units. One there, and there's another one right here as well. So talk about cool features on this thing. All the lights work. Even the vanity light up here still works and operates. A little hard to switch on, but it does switch on. Just got to be stronger than it, I guess. There we go. But again, excellent condition everywhere you look. This is probably one of the finest original, non-altered, non-painted, older Westfalias I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot. I've had probably about 30 or 40 of these restored in 1982 from ground up. And this has got to take the cake for rare options and overall condition. Other than back in 1993, I did buy my first 1991 with 9,000 miles on it. That was the best one I've ever owned. I kept that for 10 years and then sold it for $10,000 more than what I paid for it when I first bought it. So, love these vehicles, know a lot about them, know how they operate. This one has been fully serviced right here in Las Vegas. We're going to get copies of the service history as much as we can from the place that did the servicing, the place I got it from. And like I said, I sat down for 2 hours with the owner and talked to the owner about the vehicle, so I know a lot about the history of this and how he took care of it. And again, this car was completely garage kept, so there's no fade on the paint or anything like that. It's just outstanding condition. So let's take it for a spin. When she starts up, she runs just great. Starts up, no lights on, of course. Dash is beautiful. All the lights work on the dash as well. And there you can see the 85,000 miles. So let's take this thing for a spin. Clutch is excellent on it. .9 liter engine that's in it is all original. Been fully serviced. I talked to the service department. Wendell was the owner of this. Oh, there's a little door underneath the seat. But Wendell was the owner, and they said that Wendell took extreme care of this vehicle. Everything it ever needed, he just said, okay, go ahead and handle it. And actually, I bought it from the service department because he was having it serviced so he could sell it. Most people don't spend the time or money to do that. But he did, and I thought that was pretty cool. We're out here in beautiful Lake Las Vegas, and where I live, and this is just a great area. Very pretty. We'll get a little tour as we take this thing on a test drive. You can hear the sound on it. The compression on this vehicle is perfect. There's no oil leaks on the engine. This car doesn't need anything to be fully functional and out on the road. So for you those that want to have a vehicle that you don't have to spend a dime on, this is it. Talk about a great vehicle. I've owned so many of these, and they're just so convenient because you can pull them into a standard garage. You don't have to do anything about taking them into any particular garage, even the garages at hotels and stuff like that. I used to drive my 91 that I had into those with no problem. The height of them is just plenty enough, and these aren't raised like the Synchros, so they can pretty much get into any garage. Heater works on it. The cooling system is in excellent condition as well. No, I'm not driving on an angle. It's just the gimbal on my little Osmo Pocket seems to think that I'm driving on an angle. Straighten that out a little bit. Now, these aren't powerhouses, but they do go up down the road at 65, 70, 80 miles an hour if you want them to. About 75 miles an hour, you're at about 4,000 RPM. They don't climb giant hills very well because they're a 1.9 liter, a little bit of weight here, but they'll go. They have plenty of torque, so they'll go anywhere you want them to go. Just tell the people honking at it that they need to relax and take it easy. You're in no hurry. You want to go out and enjoy your life. So that's what this vehicle is all about. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. See the condition of it. See beautiful Lake Las Vegas out there, which is absolutely gorgeous. See the dash and everything's working perfect there. But this is the kind of life you can have in one of these. You can just take it out and take it for a spin and go have a lot of fun, and then flip the camper up and start camping. So if you have any questions, I always tell my clients that if you have any questions about price, don't send me an email. I won't respond to emails asking me what my bottom line is or what my best price is. I don't know what it is. This is on an auction. You're going to have to determine that as a buyer. And if you're a serious buyer and you've been looking at these for some time, you know what they're running and what they'll sell for. And this one is so rare. The option is so rare on this one. I don't know what it will bring. So I'm just kind of excited to see what kind of offers will come in. And I am here to sell it. That's what I do for a living. I'd love to keep this, but I just don't do that. I get more excited now to see people own these and getting their dream cars. That's what I've been about for years. If you read my bio, you'll find that out. But if you have any questions, call me. This is Doug Williams at Viva Las Vegas Autos, running under Rafiki Motors right now. And my phone number is 702-353-7500. Hope to hear from you soon. Excited to see you go camping.